What's actually happening is a shift in leverage, not a lack of options. The men she's attracted to are investing their time elsewhere, often with younger women. Time changes the dating market, and preferences don't freeze just because expectations do. That adjustment is uncomfortable, but it's not personal. It's structural. Men face the same reality when their value slips and the market responds. The difference is some adapt quietly, while others argue with the scoreboard.
So you're almost 40, yes. And you've never been married? No. And you don't have kids? No. And you don't want to have kids? No. What have you done with your life? Well...
People who are genuinely fulfilled don't need witnesses. They move in silence, without explanations or performance. The constant posting, forced smiles, and defensive reactions reveal more than intended. When happiness has to be announced, it's usually being negotiated. Real contentment doesn't argue, doesn't posture, and doesn't seek validation. Over time, the act becomes exhausting, and reality always collects what's owed.
So what I'm telling women is, do not, if you want a family, if you want a husband, do not allow yourself to get to a point where you hit that wall. You are 37, you are looking in the mirror, whatever age that is, and you see a different face and you see your youth going away from you and you start to panic and you can't find yourself in the mirror. Don't let that be the case while you're still on the hunt for a man, or you are going to feel inadequate, depressed, anxious, and rush in to do something toxic to your body to compensate for that. If women just listened more to what people like me are saying, and in your 20s, instead of burying in the career stuff and burying in everything else, you acknowledged the reality that what you have is going to go away. The fertility, the youthful beauty.
Many women overlook consistent, grounded men when attention feels endless. Years later, that same indifference shows up in reverse, and it feels personal. What's really happening isn't punishment, it's alignment. Men learn to withdraw their effort where it wasn't valued. Energy doesn't disappear, it simply stops being offered where it isn't respected.
Nowadays, you see women waiting. They're waiting. Well, I want to focus on my career. I want to focus on my degree. I want to be successful. Nothing wrong with that. But what happens is they get to 30 and they have an epiphany. They're like, oh shit, I got to hurry up. Mm-hmm. Like we had a guest on here, I won't say the name,
Timeline.
35 years old, childless, no husband. You're at that, we call it hitting the wall.
Yeah.
And then they become negative around it and start saying men are shitty, men are douchebags. And then they get in their 40s and they end up on TikTok talking shit at 40 years old, which is pointless, right? What did you do in your 20s? And this is another thing. It's interesting on planning. Watch this, Sean. And I know you get this. You talk to men, you say plan. You counsel women, plan. I ask a woman on the show, what's your 2 to 5 year plan? I don't know. You don't know.
But yet you want a quality man.
You're 35 years old.
Reality doesn't negotiate or slow down for lifestyle choices. Time moves forward whether people are ready or not, and biology follows its own rules. Youth, fertility, and leverage naturally decline, and confusion sets in when expectations collide with consequences. Cosmetic fixes can maintain appearance, but they don't restore options once they're gone. Building stability, family, and direction early is a strategic decision, not a limitation. Delaying those choices and then assigning blame later isn't empowerment, it's avoidance. The unbothered move is understanding the timeline, respecting reality, and acting accordingly without resentment or entitlement.
Being in your late 20s is so hard. I've seen a few people talk about this and just kind of the loneliness of your late 20s, and especially people who are kind of in this middle stage of, hey, I'm not married, don't have kids, not in a relationship, but I'm also not going out every weekend. I spend a lot of my time by myself. I live alone. I come home from work, I go to the gym, I spend my evenings alone. And on the weekend lately, I feel like I've been so exhausted that all I want to do is like spend time by myself. And I'm struggling with questions about work. You know, am I passionate about what I'm doing? Am I good at it? Should I be traveling right now and not working? Or should I be trying to work remotely so that I can travel? Like, there's just all these things that I think I would like to experience, and it's hard to know, well, when am I going to experience those things? But
Travel has become a convenient escape many modern women lean on when life feels unsatisfying. Instead of addressing the root causes, movement is mistaken for progress. A change of location creates temporary stimulation, not lasting fulfillment. When the excitement fades, the same unresolved issues are waiting at home. Growth requires introspection, not just plane tickets.
I had a wonderful day at the beach today, but now it's Friday night, and I'm all alone.
Freedom once felt exciting. No rules, no limits, no accountability. But when the noise fades and Friday night arrives, the emptiness becomes impossible to ignore. Silence has a way of revealing what distraction once hid. This outcome didn't appear overnight, and it wasn't imposed by anyone else. It was shaped, choice by choice, over time. Responsibility isn't punishment, it's simply reality catching up.
I can't sleep, I can't eat, I can't drink anything without feeling pain, true pain.
What once felt like limitless choice eventually reveals its cost. Attention fades, novelty expires, and independence stops feeling empowering when there's no one to share the silence with. The seasons keep moving, but the nights grow quieter. Meanwhile, the men who were overlooked stayed focused, built stability, and chose partners who valued alignment over validation. This isn't bitterness or blame, it's consequence. Life always collects what it lends.
Let's talk about what Charlie Kirk said.
We've basically told a great generation of young women, don't get married, don't have kids, go get a corporate job, and it's created mass political hysteria. And then in their early 30s, they get really upset because they say, the boys don't want to date me anymore because they're not at their prime. And people get mad when I say that. Well, it's just true. If you're in your early 30s, I'm sorry, it's like you're not as attractive in the dating pool as you were in the early 20s. But again, you have your corporate job and cats, so I thought,
This generation of women, I would say generations of women, have been fed this idea that it is more important for you to make money and to be independent and to live on your own in your 20s and your 30s. And then you're going to find a guy who wants to marry you. You're going to settle down. You're going to be able to have kids, and you can spend the next 10 to 20 years doing it all or balancing both. And that is a lie. That has absolutely caused mass hysteria. That is a lie that has caused a lot of disappointment and devastation.
For years, the focus was redirected toward ambition and independence. Time passed quietly, and the dating landscape adjusted without negotiation. Attraction doesn't pause for timing, and the market doesn't bend for personal timelines. What once felt optional eventually becomes consequential. No anger, no blame, just outcomes.
All right, I'm going to be brutally honest right now. The reason modern dating is so bad right now is because of men. Men simping over these women. Look, I'm not talking about the guys who just treat their women really well. I'm talking about the guys who are giving their time, energy, effort, money, resources, giving validation to these girls who don't fucking deserve it, who are doing nothing to earn it. But she's a pretty face, and it makes you feel good, because you have a little bit of access to a pretty girl. So you can tell all your friends, like, yeah, we talk all the time, but yet she's going and screwing somebody else. And then a guy comes along and actually requires something out of her, requires her to put in effort. And what does she do? She runs. Why shouldn't she? She already has 10 dudes simping over her, waiting to buy her nails, begging her to wine and dine her. 100 messages on that selfie she posted. And you're right there with them. Stop being a number. Be different. You don't give free validation to somebody who doesn't earn it. Give your fucking time and energy and effort into somebody who's going to match it. Simple as that.
Commitment didn't disappear overnight. It was traded for validation and short-term thrills. Attention became currency, connection became optional, and substance quietly faded out. Men aren't leaving in anger. They're leaving with awareness. They're done confusing access with intimacy and effort with value. When meaning disappears, so does the incentive to stay. If the message hit, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.